Well, hello, everybody. Lakeisha McKnight is here, and I want to welcome you to the Leadership TKO Night Show. I am your host, Lakeisha McKnight, and, of course, the creator and founder behind the TKO, Leadership TKO brand, where TKO stands for Truths That Have Kept the Overcomer. And there are 12 essential foundational truths that leaders, whether in the home, the corporate world, or in business, can apply to their lives in order to really remain and be strong and to grow successfully as leaders. And so all of this information about the leadership frameworks and these particular principles I've laid out in other episodes with this podcast. So feel free, of course, to check out previous episodes. But you can learn more about the Leadership TKO brand at www.leadershiptko.com. Now, the brand is housed under the LLC, or limited liability company, that's entitled the International Leadership Education and Development Company, better known as the iLead Company, or LMBI, where we, members of this particular company, partner with associations, with small businesses, to really build winning leaders. Okay, universities as well. Okay, so schools, small businesses, associations, we like to partner with organizations to build leaders. And you can be a church as well. Let me put that out there because I'm going to be talking about a lot about that in the coming days, those particular industries that my companies help. So you definitely can go to the website again to learn more, and that's leadershiptko.com. Now, I am live, and what I am going to do, because it's about 9:03 p.m., I'm going to let people know in this group that we formed on Facebook, and I'm going to tell you about the group. The group is connected to a campaign that has been launched and connected to the subdivision. The subdivision is entitled Leadership TKO for Women. And so, we've been on this campaign where I'm live on the podcast Monday through Fridays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so what we're doing is bringing awareness to the purpose of the campaign and what we have going on and what we're really campaigning about. So that's what we're talking about on this particular podcast, Mondays through Fridays at 9 o'clock p.m. So if you would like to set an alarm on your phone to join us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it may be a different time zone for yourself. So you may have to adjust that time and see what the actual time will be for you so that you can be present live. So go ahead and let me know if you are listening in live. Let me know that you are listening in live. There's a chat feature here where you can actually have dialogue with me. You can engage with me right here on the platform. All right. So you definitely want to be a part of it. Okay. And let me know, whether you are indeed live. Now, some people, of course, we do understand you come back and get the replay, which is a definite benefit of having a radio station. And this is indeed a radio station. If I was to be honest with you, although I call it a podcast because I come on at specific times, but I have the ability to run this thing on a 24/7 basis. So we may gradually shift, but right now it is on a podcast type of basis. So definitely feel free to connect with the campaign. Now, I'm going to go into the purpose of the campaign. I'm going to talk about, of course, mention the leaders who are part of this campaign and leading it with me. Next week, I'm going to talk about some of the state ambassadors. That way you can get connected to them, and even some country ambassadors. There are some individuals who are from other countries, right? And you could be from another country right now. You're saying, well, Lakeisha, I would like to represent my country a part of this campaign. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to reveal to you how you can do that. Okay, so just bear with me a little bit because we're going to talk about the campaign and then we're going to transition into talking about our topic at hand. Okay, so I'm going to definitely check and see who is live with me. Of course, I have my buddy Janine. Thank you so much for being here live on the platform. All right, so and this is what we're doing because this campaign is being launched. Of course, it was launched in Asia, actually. God has allowed the door to be open for us to publish a part of the book that's going to be released at the end of the summer. A part of the book was released in Bangkok, right? A wonderful experience where I was able to speak at a leadership conference for women. And it was a great experience with that. And I'm going to be sharing more and more of the testimonials and things that some of the women shared because of the message that they heard. I want to share that with those of you who are inside of the campaign group. So I'm going to share about that as well. So the purpose of the campaign, let's get into it. The purpose of the campaign it has multiple purposes. Number one, ultimately to unify women across the globe, despite your culture, despite the languages that you speak, but to be able to unify us, support one another. Number two, to bring awareness to the concerns that are going on that women face, and are facing in common around the world. Some of these issues are physical health issues. Some of them are mental health. Some of them are social issues. Some of them, of course, are employment or career issues. But we're bringing awareness to the issue by talking about it and not allowing these issues to be silent. Okay. And then number three, bringing either awareness to solutions that exist or creating new ones. So these are just some of the things that we're doing a part of this campaign. So now you have a greater understanding of the purpose of the campaign. Now, the commonality, the way that we connect is we're making a declaration to traditionalists, to the governments, to those, of course, who try to lower the expectations for women, but letting them know that we are women and that we were born to lead. And as a matter of fact, even as you're listening to me right now, I want you to declare this. I don't care if it makes you sound crazy, no matter where you are. Go ahead and let people know that you are a woman and that you are born to lead, right? I mean, it empowers you. It's like an affirmation. It's an affirmation that we need to declare to ourselves every morning. Of course, you can do it throughout the day. And definitely before you go to bed, you are a woman. And you are born to lead, despite what, of course, hindrances and unexpected situations came up in your life. You have the unique ability to lead. You can lead yourself well. Number one, let's talk about that. That's probably going to be something I'm going to hit on a lot, right? As we move forward in this campaign, talking about leading yourself. My goodness. And we actually have some training that we provide inside of a leadership portal. And we're going to be talking about that leadership portal a lot starting next week. So stay tuned for that as well. But I really want to focus in on what the campaign is doing, how to get plugged in, and of course, our topic at hand. So we talked about the purpose. And if you feel like you want to be connected, go ahead and get connected by visiting www group. That way they can look and see what the purpose of the group is and make a decision for themselves. You can also post it on your wall on Facebook and just let them know, hey, I invited you to this group. If you want to join, great. If not, it's okay. But just let them know that you've invited them and let them know the next step, that they need to complete the questionnaire at borntolead2017.com to become an official member. And so this is how we continue to roll, continue to bring awareness and reach our goal of 10,000 women from all 7 continents. Okay. And I know that that number could be increased, but we want to reach a doable milestone first. And then as God leads, of course, he definitely can allow more and more women. And I know he will allow more and more women to become aware of what we're doing. You see, people are probably asking, Lakeisha, are you currently getting paid from doing this? If I was to be honest with you right now, I haven't received a dime from this. If you're wondering, from this project alone, as of right now, a dime. Of course, I have my other things that I have going on that allows us to be able to do this, right? I just want you to understand that I'm committed to this and my passion is in this. Everything is being poured into this. I'm not taking anything out of it as of right now, okay? Everything is being placed into this project. And some people are saying, why are you doing this? Because I care about building leaders. And I know. And I believe that, of course, the success behind it, financially, it's going to come. I'm not worrying about that. I'm not worrying about that at all. But my focus is to help you to be able to lead. That's what my focus is. Now, let me get into some other things. So beyond becoming a member of the group, when you get in, there is another way that you can stand and you can lead. And that is by applying to be a state ambassador. And of course, we post the link for applying in the group often. We post, I believe, every other day or every 2 days inside of the group. So you will see it. And I know on the main questionnaire, it does ask you, would you like to represent your state or your country? So if you've said yes, we're gonna notice that, and you can request for the application to be sent to you. Okay, so don't worry about that at all. We would love for you to apply, and we are accepting a minimum of 2 people to represent a state or country, and a maximum of 5. Now, if you have a super huge country or a super huge state, and we feel like, man, we need some more than 5, then we will talk about it, myself and the senior leaders. Now, speaking of the senior leaders, there are 5 other women who are leading this campaign with me. And those women are Takara Steele, there is Shalia McDaniel, Maricela Messner, Cheryl Harris Sutton, and Dr. Remy Douye. So these are the ladies that are heading this project with me. They're inside of the group, of course, looking forward to mingling with you and getting to know you. And of course, we're going to offer some things for you to help you to grow. And the first thing that we do offer, and I'm going to talk about that next week, is leadership training. Okay, so we're going to talk about that heavily. All right. So stay tuned for that. But being a state ambassador is definitely a way to rise to the occasion of leadership. And when you get in the group, we ask that you request if you want a marketing image. That way you can upload it to your profile on Facebook. So you have the ability to have a marketing image that allows you to continue to share with people that you know that you're connected to the campaign. All right. So when you're in the group, there's different levels to membership. There's star level, diamond star, and platinum star. So based on the number of women that you invite and they become official members, you will then rise to different levels of membership. Okay. And each level has different benefits to it. It allows you to gain exposure to other businesses that you are a part of, other events that you want to share. But we are going to be changing up the structure just a little bit starting next week. So stay tuned for that. If you're in the group already, there will be some structure changes to engage you a bit more. So don't be shocked when you see a couple of different things happening, when you see some of the other leaders participating a bit more. Okay. All right, so we shared some information about that as well. We do have a primary website that we would love for you to visit, which is www.leadershiptko4women.com. Leadershiptko4women.com. So visit the website. That will give you a breakdown of everything that's included in this campaign. We already mentioned that we're going to have a book released at the end of the summer, this summer. We also are working on preparing to interview women. Some women, of course, are going to be interviewed live on the platform. We're going to share that interview right there in the group. And then we're going to place, of course, the recording of that interview inside of a leadership portal where women can receive access to it as a bonus to go back and listen to it. Okay, we're going to market it. And if you want a copy of it, there's a small minimal cost to getting a copy of your interview. So no worries. But it is beneficial because you're going to be having your interview. It is going to be shared, okay, across the social media networks. And that way people can get to know you. They may even request to have you come and speak at other functions that they have going on. So stay tuned to get more information about that. And we do talk about those interviews right there in the campaign group. So go ahead, get connected if you're not connected yet. You get connected by going to and completing the questionnaire at www.born2lead2017.com. All right. So we already hit on that. So what I want to do is definitely focus in on the topic at hand. You see at the top the title of the episode, which is really talking about how to move forward after abuse. After you've experienced this trauma in your life, of being abused, whether it's child abuse, whether it's, physical abuse, sexual abuse, how do you move forward? How do you move forward? There are a couple of things that you can do. Okay, because some of you right now, you might have experienced it and never received help as a result. It could have been something that was hidden, that your family told you never to talk about. Your mom said, keep it on the hush, right? Your father said, don't tell anybody about it, right? Or a family member, don't say anything. There's a lot of families that do this, and it causes more harm than it does good. You think that you're protecting your family when you're causing the individual harm, because you're really just saying it's okay. Even though you're saying, no, it's not okay, but we don't want the world to know about it, you're really saying it's okay. And so we want to encourage you not to feel as though it is okay. It's really not okay. And I'm going to share with you some things you can do to help you overcome, because again, I've experienced it, child sexual abuse. And there are some things that I did, some things that happened in my family, and I'm transparent about it. Okay. When it happened, people had to get, they had to go through correctional, right, consequences. Okay. They had to get some therapy for themselves. And these are some things that you can do. Get connected with a community, a therapist in your community, a professional individual you can talk to on a one-to-one basis. That's the number one thing that you can do. Get someone you can talk to. Even if it's a pastor, you may say, well, I don't have the finances to get a professional therapist, or your insurance doesn't cover it. Then get a pastor, a spiritual leader that you can talk to about what has happened to you in your childhood. And then that way, of course, they can pray for you as well. And I'm going to pray for you also, even before we leave here, because I believe in the power of prayer. But there's also a second option to be able to move forward after abuse. And that is, number 2, seek, support group for people who are survivors of abuse. I'm quite sure that they're out there. I know that there's AA groups, there's NA groups, there's so many, addiction type of groups out there, but I'm quite sure there should be a groups for survivors of abuse or survivors of trauma, some level of trauma. So I want you to think about that. What type of groups, support groups are nearby that you can connect with, where other women have experienced some level of trauma that you can be a part of. Number 3, right? Number 3 is definitely, if you're a spiritual person, drawing closer to God. That way he can begin to work on some things inside, whether you're struggling with unforgiveness for that individual who abused you or neglected you. Drawing closer to God has been one of the major ways that I was delivered. And that has enabled me to be able to go out there and share what has happened. I'm quite sure if God didn't touch me, right, the way that he did, I wouldn't be able to share this today with you. I wouldn't. But because of the healing power of God, and I don't know where you are in your spiritual walk. Some of you, depending on what your religious beliefs are, but these are just mine. And I know, when I felt the power of God, that was a turning point for me in many different ways. Okay. I could probably write a book on that by itself. But it's because of the healing power of God that my life was turned around. I did not see the abuser as necessarily abuser per se, but I knew the cause, the root problem of why it happened. And I was able to say, okay, and God was able to show me, hey, who are you to accuse him? And there, I can go on with this for days, but you really, really have to look at where you are. Okay. And then see, can I draw closer to God to help him to really use him and allow him to help me to move forward after this abuse or after this traumatic situation. And he will, if you let him, he will, and he will definitely help you to move forward. Okay. So that's another way of moving forward. You also can have supportive individuals in your corner. Like if you're married, your spouse can definitely encourage you and empower you. Even your kids can encourage you and empower you. So having that close individual nearby for support, whether it is someone that you can talk to, a shoulder to cry on, whatever it may be, You don't want to stay in that moment of crying so long, because that's detrimental to you as well. Crying sometimes can be, kind of a way of letting it out and releasing any pain, any stress that you have, but you can't continue to use that as an avenue. Okay, because you have to use some healthier avenues. Even if it is engaging in some type of sport, that can be another way that you can move forward, right? And release emotions. Anything that's going to allow you to release emotions, whether it's self-defense, whether it's anything, okay? Anything healthy and legal. Let me put that out there. All right. And these are some things that you can engage in, to be able to move forward. And of course, the biggest thing that I say is talking about it. Talking about it will help you to move forward after abuse. When I began talking about it, and the way that I, allowed myself to move forward through drawing closer to God, do you understand, when I began talking about these things, people began to want to know, how can they draw closer to God? What can they do to have a personal relationship with God? That's when I knew that talking about it had more power. It's because of the testimony. It's because of me pointing people in the direction of God, and all for myself, because it's now being used. The situation is not, to have a pity party, but to shine a more light on what God is able to do. So again, I know I can get on the soapbox right now, and this is not a preaching moment, but I just want you to understand, the power, that's in sharing and talking. It definitely is a freeing moment here. And the biggest thing of all, I don't know if I mentioned this to be able to move forward, forgiveness. And you can't forgive someone if you don't have love in you. If you don't have love in you, it's going to be difficult for you to forgive. And see, the moment that you begin to see that you're not 100% perfect and that you've made mistakes, you're able to say, you know what? Other people, the abuser, was able to make mistakes. And you'll begin to see how your mind begins to change. You begin to process it. And you're like, man, you know what? It's time for me to be free. And you can be free by forgiving the abuser and ultimately yourself. So this is how you're able to move forward from abuse. This is how you're able to move forward from abuse. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing right now is, if you feel like, man, I need someone to talk to, I want you to comment, in response to, to this particular episode. Send me a comment, say, hey, Lakeisha, I need someone to talk to, and I'll connect with you. If you want to email me, you can do that as well at Lakeisha, Lakeisha, M as in Mary, then McKnight, MCKNIGHT @gmail.com. That's how you can email me, and make sure you put in the subject line podcast, and then you can send me the, your information, whatever it is you want to share with me. All right. So that's just how you can move forward from abuse. Now, tomorrow, of course, we have some fun stuff really for you tomorrow during the podcast. I'm going to shift it up a bit. I'm going to do something fun and not necessarily focus on child abuse or sexual abuse. Okay. So I promise it's going to be fun tomorrow. So be sure to tune in at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But definitely get connected to this campaign. We are advocates for preventing or getting healed from child abuse. Child sexual abuse, physical abuse, neglect, all these things. Okay. And you get connected by going to www.borntolead2017.com. All right. So again, I just want to say thank you to those of you who are connected here. We have some great things that's happening. Number one, we have the convention on May 27th. If you haven't gotten your ticket and you don't know about this convention, you want to get on it. You want to become educated and informed. You want to be in the building, because we have some great stuff. We have a grand opening. When I'm saying grand, I'm talking about big opening to the ceremony on the 27th. You don't want to miss this. You need to be there. Okay. It's going to happen in Portsmouth, Virginia, at the Village Church of Portsmouth, 900 Portsmouth Boulevard in Portsmouth, Virginia. You can learn more by going to www.leadershiptkoconvention.com. Leadership, TKO Convention born2lead.com. Get your ticket, because right now the special for tickets is it's definitely a couple of dollars off, for the ticket until May 1st. After May 1st, it goes back to the original cost. Okay, so get your ticket, make arrangements, carpool if you need to from wherever you're located. Even if you're outside of Virginia, don't let issues of being outside of Virginia be the reason and excuse for not coming. If you're having financial issues, talk to me. I'm in the campaign group. Comment to this podcast. Say, hey, can I talk about the ticket cost? Whatever it is. I don't want money to be a reason. I don't want money to be an excuse for you not being there. Okay, that's one thing I've learned. When you really want to do something, you make it happen. But I also believe in communication. Whenever there's an issue, you communicate it. Okay, but I just want to say thank you for those of you who are plugged in already inside of the campaign group. Those of you who are inviting women into the group and getting connected to the campaign. I appreciate you. I love you dearly. I'm quite sure the other leaders of the campaign appreciate you as well. Stay tuned for some of the changes that are going to be happening inside of the campaign group. Get plugged in. Get yourself signed up for an interview if you're not signed up yet. And of course, when you go to the link, you're going to be able to decide which option you want to choose, whether you want to just do the interview or you want the interview and you want to order a copy of the final edited version of your interview. Okay, so there are different options for that. All right. So here is what I would love to do at this particular point. I want to direct you again. Get plugged into the campaign. I know I've been pushing this along the way, but get connected. I don't care. Right now, you could be in South Africa. Get connected. If you could be right now in Germany, get connected. The Virgin Islands, Barbados, get connected. Canada, get connected. Listen, China, Hong Kong, get connected. Japan, get connected. Australia, get connected. I can probably name all of the countries. I just want you to get connected because you are a woman and you were born to lead. www.born2lead2017.com. I'll be back here tomorrow night with a fresh episode. But until then, I need you to just think about this one thing. To think, speak, and live leadership.